Last month I made a video of why Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing like an MVP. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Here's the suggestion at the top. He's still playing like an MVP. I think that Giannis should still be in the MVP race talk, but lately that talk has died down about him potentially being this season's MVP, because lately it's been all about James Harden versus LeBron and who will win this season's MVP award between the two. But this is not what this video is about. I stated in the other video at the time that Giannis was averaging 31 points per game, 1.7 steals per game, 1.4 blocks per game, 5 assists per game, and 9.9 rebounds per game. Right now he's averaging a double-double. He's averaging 29.8 points per game, 1.9 steals per game, 1.5 blocks per game, 4.5 assists per game, and 10.5 rebounds per game. He only dipped in points and assists. He's increased in steals, blocks, and rebounds per game. In this video, I'll be talking about why Giannis should win the Most Improved Player of the Year award again this season. Once again, it's 3rd IV 195 coming at you with my intellect. Stay tuned. If you're a Giannis fan, I'm pretty sure you would agree with me, but you would rather him win the MVP award. In my opinion, unfortunately, he won't be winning the MVP award this season. You can't say it's because of his age why he's not going to win the MVP this season, because Derrick Rose was the youngest MVP in NBA history at the age of 22 when he won the award back in 2011. And a lot of people actually believed that LeBron should have won it that season. But I don't think that's true, because Derrick Rose was so young, and even though at the time, the Chicago Bulls were a pretty solid team, they were no match for the Miami Heat back then, because Miami Heat beat Chicago in the Eastern Conference Finals that year 4-1. In the regular season, Chicago did sweep the Miami Heat and had the best record in the NBA that season. They had a record of 62 wins and 20 losses. The team with the second best record for the 2010 to 2011 season was the San Antonio Spurs, with 61 wins and 21 losses. That's probably the reason why Derrick Rose won the MVP award over LeBron, because 1. Voters fatigue. LeBron won the MVP award back-to-back in 2009 and in 2010. And 2, like I said before, Miami got swept in the regular season to the Chicago Bulls 3-0. And 3, like I said before, Chicago had the best record in the NBA that season. And not only just these reasons, the fact that Chicago made such a big improvement from the previous season, the 2009 to 2010 season. They had a 500 record. They had a record of 41 wins and 41 losses. And they lost in the first round to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games, 4-1. And Derrick Rose was the franchise player and the biggest part to their success at the time. And he was a young rising star. His NBA story was looking great at the moment, until he unfortunately tore his ACL in 2012 in Game 1 of the playoffs versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Giannis is older now than when Derrick Rose won the MVP. You can't say if Milwaukee doesn't end up being the 1st or 2nd seed team in the East why he won't win the MVP, because Russell Westbrook proved to us last season that your team doesn't even have to be a top 5 team in your conference to win the MVP award, because every player from LeBron to Derrick Rose, Kevin Durant, and Stephen Curry, who won the MVP in previous years, this decade, from 2010 to 2016, their teams were top 2 in their conference. In order for Giannis to win the MVP this season, he has to do something spectacular like what Russell Westbrook did last season, average a triple-double throughout the whole season, and break a lot of records. Because Westbrook broke Oscar Robertson's triple-double record by getting 42 in one season. Oscar Robertson had 41 in a season. And Westbrook showed that he can carry a team, because we all know that in 2016, the second best player in the NBA left his side in Kevin Durant. Westbrook's story to winning the MVP last season was great. That's why he was the favorite to win it. Don't get me wrong, Giannis is playing out of his mind. But the real reason why he won't win the MVP is because James Harden and LeBron James. Because they have more seniority than him. And that's who the hype is following right now. And it's deserved hype. And their teams are definitely going to be one of the top 3 teams in each of their conference by the end of this season. So when voters are looking at it, they are definitely going to favor Harden and LeBron more. Here's why. LeBron is the face of the NBA, and he's having one of the best seasons in years. LeBron never won an MVP award in 4 years, and he's also having the best season so far since he returned to Cleveland back in 2014, and he's averaging career highs in some areas, and it seems like age is not slowing him down, which is amazing. When you look at it, some of the greatest NBA players of all time, by their 15th season, you can see their decline, like Reggie Miller, Dwayne Wade, even though he battled some injuries in his career. David Robinson, he retired in his 14th season, but that's due to some injury that he suffered later on in his career. So that shows how much LeBron takes care of his body and how strong he is. He's very durable. Other great players that declined in their 15th season were Scottie Pippen, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and many more. LeBron still has a lot left in him, and we are yet to see him decline. James Harden, on the other hand, was supposed to have won the MVP award back in 2015 over Stephen Curry. I agree with him. Harden led the Houston Rockets to the 3rd best wins and loss record in the NBA that season, and the 2nd best wins and loss record in the Western Conference, with 56 wins and 26 losses. And Dwight Howard, their 2nd best player at the time, never played for half the season. He missed 41 games due to injuries. So Harden was basically doing everything on his own. Harden also led the Houston Rockets to the Western Conference Finals that year. James Harden came up short again this year from winning the MVP last season because of Russell Westbrook. Harden is playing out of his mind right now, and this is the best season that he's having so far in his career. Harden just keeps getting better every year, and there's no way that they are going to give the MVP award to Giannis over LeBron or Harden. Giannis deserves the Most Improved Player of the Year award again. There's a lot of players that have improved this year, like Victor Oladipo, he made a drastic improvement, and Kristaps Porzingis as well, including Aaron Gordon, even though he shouldn't win it because the Orlando Magic are probably not going to go to the playoffs this year. Clint Capella and Robert Covington improved as well. The reason why Giannis should win it this year again is because he is carrying the Milwaukee Bucks, and they will definitely make it to the playoffs again this year. And he's doing this without the 2nd best player on the Milwaukee Bucks, Jabari Parker. Jabari never played a game this year yet, due to him tearing his ACL last season in a game against the Miami Heat, and Giannis grew even more this season. If Giannis wins the award again around the end of the season, he will become the first NBA player in NBA history to win the award twice, and the first to win it back-to-back years. Plus, he would be the first non-born American to win the award twice, and not only twice, back-to-back years as well. Giannis will definitely be an MVP later on in his career, so there's no worries if you're a fan of his. He has all the skills to become an MVP and even be the face of the NBA in the future. But that's it for the video, guys, and like I always say, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button and comment below. Tell me what you think. Peace!
If I do a show, pay me a rack and nothing less. Usually I take cash, but for this I'll take